We all have our opinions on piracy. I'm not telling anybody how to feel about it one way or another. But the Gachiakuta mangaka, all right, Kei Urana, has been discussing this very topic. And then we're going to hear from another individual, the Battle Scar creator. He has a difference of opinion. Kei Urana says, I've spent the past few days researching the circumstances in different countries, including financial situations. I understand that for many people, pirate sites are the only way they can read manga. I also understand that prices can be higher overseas. I've even seen people saying, don't bring this issue up. But if we do not speak up now, the value of Japanese manga and creative works built through the sacrifices and relentless efforts of those who came before us will be wasted. I've also seen people say reading for free doesn't hurt sales. That is not true. Free lowers the value of things. Once people grow used to getting something for free, they stop looking toward legitimate versions. I also understand people who truly love a work will support it properly. We pour ourselves into creating so readers can enjoy our work. Compensation matters, of course, but more than anything, I do not want to see its value diminish. To help people who cannot afford to buy it or who do not have the access to it enjoy these works. Ando and I have been discussing this for a long time and exploring many ideas. I cannot share details yet, but we are working on it. Publishers are making efforts as well. I'm sorry if it's taking time, but please stop hurling accusations like you are racist. Like that's what they all do.
Stupid Westerner people. Jeez.
This is the Western issue, by the way. It's 100% a Western issue. Or saying misguided things like piracy is free promotion for you. We will continue to do everything we can so everyone can enjoy manga. And I ask one thing in return, please try to understand our perspective and our culture as well. And, using a translation app. All right. So this thing went mega viral. You can see 5.9 million views.
Holy cow.
So basically it's like, look, I know that some of you guys can't get your hands on, some manga. All right. It's not available everywhere. And then sometimes the prices can be jacked up sky high. But, we got to preserve Japanese culture. We got to take care of the creators. To say that it's free isn't hurting you is wrong because anytime something's free, it does lower the value. Oh, it's free 99. You can just get it. So it's like, okay, then it's, it lowers what it's worth. So I just want to hear your thoughts on that because there's a different take coming on the other side of this.
I'm not afraid to say that I've had to don the straw hat every now and then because things just either aren't available or, broke ass at one point. Whereas now, yeah, I can afford things a little more. I've got a few things that I've collected, but trying to collect manga, it's not the most expensive thing, but it's also not the least expensive thing. Omnibus is anywhere from $15 to $18. Long-running series, you're talking several $100 investment. I guess it wouldn't be quite so bad if the publishers, for the most part, weren't assholes. Or if Sony wasn't assholes. Or Crunchyroll wasn't assholes.
Yeah, let's drill it right down.
Yeah. If these places that actually are the ones that are publishing and distributing, if they weren't such assholes about some things, it probably wouldn't be nearly as big a deal as it is. In general, if you have the spare coin and you do like what they're doing, yeah, go buy the manga. Go when the season's through, and if they put it out on physical media, yeah, if you like it that much, get the physical media. Try to support them as much as you can.
I know that large publishers probably have less of a problem because they can get their, mangas out there. It's not a problem. It's the small to medium-sized publishers trying to get things, especially now that we're global, trying to get things to other countries. It's a lot of money. It's not cheap. Let's say I live in Spain and I'm trying to get a special, small publisher that created this manga and I've heard about it and I want to read it, but it's not available because that small publisher cannot afford to globalize that manga. But there's a pirate out there. Oh, okay. Let me pirate it then. See, that's part of the issue is that, large publishers, they don't really have these issues. It's really the small to medium publishers where it's going to be a large outtake of cost for them. We're going to let the pirate go last on this one. Stacy, your thoughts on this situation?
First off, I got to feel I share nothing but respect for Kay because she had to deal with bastards who just could not enjoy her work.
Gachiakuta. Let me just say this. The Gachiakuta fandom is probably like they're replacing My Hero, man. They replacing the My Hero fandom, man.
They're now
These
the worst.
people are disgusting. Nothing name. Slow down. I know. I see you reaching for your balls. Your mute button. I just to get that out there because those people are horrible, man. Absolutely trash. But anyway, go ahead, Stacey.
Put the 9 down, name. Yeah, but as far as what she's talking about, I have to agree. Free actually does ruin it because then at that point, what's the use of even making it if like we're not getting anything out of it? There's like other people getting a piece of the pie off of my work. No, I better be getting some of that pie too. Otherwise, what's the use of the pie if you're using my stuff and I'm not even getting paid for it?
Yeah.
Now, as far as what she and this what was it, Endo are coming up with,
Endo.
If it's a way to try and get this stuff out here like direct to the customer, go for it. I will
Direct
support
publishing.
it. Yeah. Do that. I will support any person who does that. If you make like the manga I'm into, like right now, I'm actually kind of upset with myself because I just stumbled across on High Dive about a good few months ago, backstabbed in a backwater dungeon, and I'm like, it's a good series. I found volumes 1 to 3, and then 7 to 5 to 9, and I'm still can't find volume 4. So I understand the pain, but I'm not going to go pirate it. No, I want to support that person who made that book just so that way I can keep getting more of it.
Yeah, that is a problem. That's my problem with Sword Daddy. Volume 4 is not in print, and they haven't reprinted it. So if I want to complete my set, which is near complete, I'm going to be paying like $130 to $150, and I don't mind dropping the coin, but damn, I'm not dropping $150 on Sword Daddy.
That's wild. Wow. Yeah, and
they've got all the other ones except 4. Except that one.
You know, we already talked about this on the previous. All right. The country of Japan suffered a loss of 38 billion with a B dollars due to piracy of not just anime and manga, but also video games. So we don't know how much of that piece of the pie is directly related to manga or anime or video games. It's just the combined total. But Japan's obviously going to start addressing this. And the manga artists are saying, look, man, this ain't cool. This isn't cool. We need to do things differently, and we're trying to come up with solutions. And now, you know, again, I always pick on you, but you know, you can take it, you can deal with it. What is the solution, man? What is the solution? Is there a solution?
I think to me, like all of this I feel like it comes down to like the middleman. I think that is the biggest problem because you're seeing like all these like, you know, short printing or like, you know, even in like some other countries, like I was seeing some during these conversations, I was seeing like some Russians post like the manga that they like legally bought, and pages are like blacked out or like they're censored, like, you know, to fit in accordance with like the country's like laws or beliefs.
Yeah.
And that's just horrible because like you're trying to legally support it, and first of all, it's already like expensive because like, you know, it's cheaper in Japan because like, you know, it's in like country and they can just produce it. But when you like export it, if it's like, you know, the original volume or like if you're just like translating it, there's a lot of like red tape and middlemen that you have to go through. They're paying all this money and they can't even get like the original vision because like, you know, of their government. I think that was really fucked up. But this has been like a really like big week of just conversation, and it's like good and bad because like Kei Urana, like there's so much stuff that she addressed it. Like she had a few follow-up posts. Some people were saying to her like they're saying like, you know, you should have like dropped another nuke on Japan, and that hit hard for her because she lives in Hiroshima. So it's like, you know, it's like, bro,
that's ridiculous, man. That's what I'm saying, man.
Fucking,
the fans, bro, and it's these Western fans. They assholes with this, man.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't know why, like, you know, people are so inflamed about this. Like, I think you get nowhere if everyone's just screaming at each other. Like, she's clearly trying to like work towards a solution. No author like usually addresses this stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure like they all know about it in the industry. They just like keep quiet about it because it's just like, you know, what can they do about it? Or like, you know, they don't want to alienate their fans. But she was one of the first big ones to really like address it head on and say like, hey, you know, I hear you guys. You know, I know like, you know, things are going on in your country that are making it hard for you to like get manga. I want to do something to make it easier because like, you know, I want you guys to do it legally, but I also want you guys to support the art. as I want, as I intended it for it to.
We have a different take. This is coming from the Battlestar manga creator, Kazuya Kuramoto, all right, who expressed frustration over delayed English releases. And he's advocating for prioritizing translations and accessibility over any discussion on piracy. So he don't even want to talk about that. Let's stop talking about piracy. Why don't you guys focus on prioritizing the translations and the accessibility? Here's what he said. This is something I really want to see improved. My own work, Battlestar, is a good example. I wanted to release an English version for the past 2 years, and I brought it up to the publisher again and again. But even though a promotional video aimed at English-speaking audiences reached 250,000 likes on Instagram, things haven't really moved forward. I can translate into English just fine, and if you leave it to me, the translation cost would be zero. And yet, even now, nothing has come of it. Rather than focusing on piracy, what we need is a system that allows translations to be done more freely and releases to be published faster. That's kind of to your point, Nate. The system is the issue. It's like, it's okay. If you got a system that worked, we wouldn't have as much piracy. So why not fix the system that's broken instead of worried about people stealing? It's like, fix the system, fix the problem, and the problem goes away. To that point, he's absolutely correct. Like, if he's trying to get an English version of his manga out there and the publisher is pushing back against him or they're not moving fast enough, what do you expect people to do? 250,000 likes on Instagram, that tells me there's an audience for this.
And in our current environment, 250 likes is a moment. Like that hype can just die out. So they have to be on top of this. And the longer they wait, people are gonna forget about Battlestar. It's gonna start to become niche unless it's it starts popping off like Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, and you don't always know that that's gonna be the case. So I understand his frustration because the longer it waits, he might miss his chance to become the next Horikoshi, the next Oda, the next Fujimoto.
Right.
It's
I believe that if they were to, I don't think it's like a system mainly on their side. I think it's a system on our side too, because once again, we have the wrong people in localization, and what happens? They don't know. They either don't know or they don't care to actually translate properly. Remember, DA, you even made a video about it where there were a group of girls, I think in a girl's house or whatever. They were celebrating Christmas, and they even said "Merry Christmas" in Japanese, but the subtitles.
Uma Musume, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But
Yeah,
the subtitles said "Happy Holidays." No, I'm like everybody else here. Translate it the way it's supposed to be translated. If they say "Merry
Right.
Christmas," put "Merry Christmas" in it.
In other words, they fuck it up.
I don't know if I said this post, but it was a really interesting one. This guy who works in manga publishing, he broke down the cost and returns of publishing a manga, and I can understand why they're so passionate about it because over there's not that much bloat. They really try to take a lot of risk, and usually they have to, like you said, DA, in one of our conversations, the bigger titles, the Demon Slayer, the Chainsaw Man, the JJKs, they have to eat the losses for them to take chances on manga. And whereas over here, we're talking about the comics industry, there's so much bloat, there's so much unnecessary spending. Even you're talking about comics, you're talking about just Hollywood in general. I think it's the red tape, it's the system. It's like that Gabe Newell quote. It's the problem. What was it? It's something about piracy, but it's just why do people why did Spotify pop up? Why did Steam pop up? It's because it cost money, but they did something better than the competitors, and it was provide a good service. It's very streamlined.
They found the solution.
Exactly.
Right.
And
they
nowadays,
found the solution to the problem, and that made and then everybody went and okay, fine. That's what again the Battlestar creator is saying. Fix the problem. Quit crying about piracy. Piracy is a symptom of a problem. It is not the reason that we're having all these trouble. It's the symptom to a different problem. Yeah. We need to solve the problem, and once we solve the problem, the rest of it will take care of itself. Yeah.
The quote's in the chat. Piracy is a service issue. That's really what it is. They talked about how piracy was going down for movies because of how good Netflix originally was, and now that shit's back on the rise because of how shitty they are, the fragmentation, the costs. They're losing. They're really losing it, and it's the same problem. They've got to figure out how to make the service reasonable to where most everybody can afford it. It doesn't break you. And at the end of the day, everybody is happy. Customer happy, creators happy, they make money, we enjoy the service, we keep paying for it.